Hi, I'm Troy Miller,
And I'm Melody Miller.
and we're pretty new to Crossroads. We just started attending in January, and that's because in January I became a member of the A18 movement as a church planting resident.
Our journey to get there is a little complicated, but that's what we're here to talk to you about. We met serving on staff at a different church, and I think we both got to a place where we were feeling kind of ineffective and thought that maybe God had something else in store for us.
After a number of other opportunities and doors that were closed, it was on May 28th. Pastor Steve Cordell visited the church that I was serving at, and I was preaching that weekend. He tracked me down after the 11 o'clock service and introduced himself and said, hey, as I was hearing you preach, I felt the Spirit nudging me to tell you that I think you might have what it takes to start a church someday. And if that's something you're interested in, we've got this program we're developing. Why don't you give me a call?
And we ignored him. We were pretty sure that was not what God was calling us to, and that we had the right idea, and we kept going on our own path. That was not working out very well for us.
I'm still trying to maintain a role in ministry and providing for the family. I'm attending seminary full time and chasing down different opportunities, things that came my way, things that should have made sense, things that should have fit, and yet none of them did. And every time there was an interview or a conversation that seemed like this is it quickly that door was shut. And it became very frustrating. It felt, I kept saying, God, why would you open this door only to close it?
God knew exactly where we needed to be. It was just the when that we were stuck struggling with. And so even though we banged really hard on the wrong doors for so many months, God just kept quietly reassuring us, I've got you, I've got this situation, it's gonna be okay. I made you for more than what you're currently doing. Just wait. And it wasn't until after the birth of our second son in August that we started looking at each other thinking, I don't think we've got it right. We must be missing something. Maybe we need to think outside the box a little bit and try to figure out what God has in store for us. And so that's the point where I said to Troy, why don't we call that guy from Crossroads and see what he has to say?
Yeah. So I did, and we met, and he explained the program to me, and we talked about church planting. And after a lot of prayer and talking to people close to us, we decided to go for it. And so, as I said, on January 2nd, I started as a resident here at Crossroads. I've heard it described and, I guess, preached this way, that we want God to show us where to go before we go. But the way God works is that if we go, then He will show. And I think that's our story, and that's what we're called to as disciples, to go and trust that as we go, God will show us who we're supposed to disciple, who we're supposed to love on, what it's supposed to look like. He's going to reveal it as we go. Now that we've come through that season, God's faithfulness to us and His steady right hand being proven time and time again, even though the prospects of being done with this residency program come the end of December and who knows what's next is looming, I'm more confident, I think, now than I ever was last year because I've seen God's faithfulness, and if He brought us through that, I know He's going to bring us through this, and He's going to provide something that we can't even begin to imagine.